Well, hi. It's so great to be with you again. And I'm so excited to kind of introduce and talk about what God is teaching me in this time in my life. And I guess I say excited, but I also say that it's just a time of honesty for me. I don't know if anyone else in this past season has really had some hard things, some kind of arrows kind of strike your heart. But for me, my mom fell and really hurt her knee, and then dad came to live with us because he has some mobility issues, and basically, being separate for so long, we didn't realize kind of their health situation. And so we ended up really walking with them to really start navigating kind of what this next season looks like for them. And in that time, while my mom was in surgery and rehab, and my dad was living with us, and we were recognizing how much assistance and help he needed, we learned a lot about ourselves. It takes everything to care for someone that you love. It's exhausting and it hurts your heart because it's hard to see them, struggling. There is a switch, where, they've been kind of that foundation under us as parents. And now we're helping to kind of be a foundation under them. And they're still, obviously in that with us, but it's just a different place. It's a transition, and there's grieving, and there's figuring it out. I'm learning lots about medical terms and other things that I never thought that I would. But I'm also learning that God is enough in this season, and the richness and the different blessings that are here. The story of Ruth and Naomi has been one that's really taken on a different meaning for me. You think of Naomi, and here she is, she leaves Israel because of a famine with her husband, looking for new opportunities, new hope. She's not the first in biblical history to do that. I mean, many others left their homeland to kind of look for greener pastures, including the Israelites when they left the promised land to go into Egypt during that time. And so here they are again, they're going into Moab, and she loses her husband, and then she loses both sons, and she has nothing. Everything's been stripped away. Her world is not what it used to be, and she has nothing to offer her daughters-in-law. And so she releases them to go back to their homes and be able to remarry and have that security and that life that they can still have and they can't have with her. And Ruth, in that moment, when Ruth is bitter and just empty and grieving, commits to her in this really powerful way. She says, wherever you go, I will go. Where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God. But to think of what it meant to commit to someone at a place where they had nothing to offer, emotionally, physically, they were going to be widows together and would have to scrape and kind of beg for food on the sides of the road. And then obviously going back to Israel to just kind of glean the leftovers in the fields. And yet she was saying, I'm coming with you. Like I am sticking with you. I'm committing to this relationship, you and I. And how powerful of a love that really is. And I think that's the thing about hard times. And what I'm learning in this season is that, wow, like putting on my dad's socks and helping get him in and out of bed and different things that we've had to problem solve. It is hard. It takes everything. But there is enough love. There is enough strength for each day. And it might be that little bit, but it is there. And it's powerful because, man, do I have to lean on God. In my weakness, he is the one that's strong. He's the one that is working through me and making something of what I'm able to offer my parents. And there's, just this reliance. I just needed to be on my knees and just kind of crying out to him during this season. It's a different type of mentoring. Here I am, speaking about mentoring and this Growing Together program that Women's Leadership Institute is creating and mentoring on campus. And here I am being shaped in this different kind of form, that clay that's just kind of being molded. It's teaching me a lot about what it does mean to listen, what it does mean to advocate for others, what it does mean to be willing to walk with someone, even when you're walking into something that's really hard and uncomfortable, that it's still worth it. That God meets us in that place, and He has a plan. With Naomi, who was bitter and at a really dark place, God had a plan. He had Ruth go with her to Israel, and obviously, Ruth gleaning in the fields and meeting Boaz, who saw her character and became her kinsman redeemer, Naomi's kinsman redeemer. And then through that family that had nothing, comes the Savior. Boaz has Obed, and then that becomes, Jesse's great grandpa, and King David, and then of course into the line of Jesus. We have this great story of hope that comes out of this really season of famine and grief and hardship. And that's what we have. We might be in that season of hardship right now, but there is hope. There is definitely, God is up to stuff. He is working through us. He is preparing us for good things to come. And we get to be a light. And maybe, I know certainly my heart as a mentor and even as a mentee, it's going to be so much softened to what other people are dealing with when they're dealing with, family matters and grief. It allows me to identify and walk with them in a new way. So thank you for letting me share this part of who I am and what God is doing in my life. And I really hope that you look at these mentoring tools and kind of look at different ways to walk with one another, even when it's hard, because even when we don't feel enough, God is. Thank you.